What's going on? This is D-Money from Juice Radio here with A.K.A. Gotta talk about the name A.K.A. because in a sense your A.K.A. is A.K.A. An acronym or something, or are you leaving people an invitation to name you what they want?
No, it's funny you say that. My brother Casey and I were sitting around one night when I told him this is what I was going to do, and he made the joke, because I have so many different nicknames I've acquired over the years that I might as well just call myself A.K.A. And he left it at that. Our conversation ended, and I literally sat up till about 3 o'clock in the morning that morning, writing out A.K.A. many different ways I could think of, writing out also known as many different, different styles and everything, and it just it sounded good to me. So I stuck with it, went with it, and yeah, I'll leave it open at the end of it. You can call me A.K.A. almost anything you want, just don't call me A.K.A. late for dinner, because I'm pretty good at being there on time to catch my meal. If anybody knows, 6'3", 300 pounds doesn't just eat. So, you don't call me late for dinner, because I'll be there.
Speaking of which, you have had a very busy year, really trying to get it. You've dropped a couple mixtapes, an EP, Here I Am, the Soul Sessions, and now you got an album, Resurgence, coming out with all these releases all in the span of maybe about just less than a year. What really lit this fire under you to really take it on? It took you from this freestyler to this hard-moving, hard-grinding artist.
To be honest with you, D, I got divorced in 2009, and that was the huge jump start to all this. I have been writing since I was 13, and I've been writing poetry, and I've been writing, and I freestyle every now and then, and it was cool. My friends told me I was pretty good, and I was just like, whatever, your friends gas you up or whatnot. But it kind of came to the point where I realized it's something I wanted to do with my life, and it's something that meant a lot to me. And I was like, you know what? There's no time like the present, so I'm going to go ahead and jump on this before I just lose my drive for it. And 10 years ago, I didn't have the drive for it. And people ask me all the time, why didn't you do it 10 years ago? I didn't have the drive, plain and simple. I didn't have the motivation. I didn't have the heart for it that I do now, 10 years ago. So I decided to do that. In the past year, really, I just want to put out the best work I possibly can. I want to have the best quality. I want to have the best people around me. I purposely don't keep myself around certain people, and it's nothing against them. I just don't need that element around me, and I try to stay humble, and I try to keep my family near me. I'm very family oriented, and I love my family to death, and they've been supportive with me in this whole thing, and that's why you see so many shout outs on my thank yous for the album. They didn't all fit on the insert that we had for the album, so I had to take all those thank yous and put it on my Facebook, and I tagged as many people as I could think of to tag in it so they could see that, because everybody that I tagged in that, and everybody I thanked in that, did have a part in me being where I am right now.
Yes, sir. And part of being what you are right now, you've had a team behind you, and most recently, you've had this signing to Itchy Metal Entertainment. For those who don't know, who is this group? Where are they from? And how'd you get on that?
Well, big shout out Itchy Metal Entertainment. Ed Fazio over there at Itchy Metal heard about me through Mike Drastic, who is a local hip hop artist out of Bremerton. Shout out Mike Drastic. I appreciate him, kind of putting my name out there, and they came at me, and I got this wonderful email from Ed. He said, I've been trying to get a hold of you, and I don't know if I have your email address right or not. And he sent me a message on Reverb Nation, and I was like, okay. So I sent my email address. He sent over this wonderful email, and he had listened to the music, and he sent me on Mother's Day an offer, and I didn't even know what to think about it. Itchy Metal is based out of LA. They were based out of Vegas. They were a purely heavy metal label for a long time, and Ed realizes what good music is and what talent is, and he has a lot of talented heavy metal artists. I listen to everything. So I can listen to my label mates who are heavy metal artists and say, I like that. Not only because, they're my label mates, but because I like what they do. And that's something I like to listen to every now and then. And, Itchy Metal has been very, very pivotal in a lot of things that I've done, and kind of lit that fire, under me to get this album done. I've never worked with deadlines before, and the deadline was I had to have the whole album recorded, mixed, and mastered by July 1st, just to get my physical copies of my CDs and for me to be able to drop it on my birthday. digital distribution and everything, I had to do that. And, with the help of DJ Finnessy with Remedy Recording in Tacoma, I was very much able to do that. In 5 sessions, we finished the whole album, and it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, that was definitely a good look right there. But let's talk about your music. People that aren't familiar, maybe if they've only heard these singles, what about the rest of A.K.A.'s music? The album Resurgence, what can we expect from this?
Well, from the album, you can expect me to, be me. I'm not here to try to be something I'm not. I'm not talking about, I don't ball out of control. I'm sorry. I work a regular job. I have a child that I take care of. I have bills like everybody else. I don't live off of a female like a lot of cats out here do. Nothing wrong with that, but if that's what you do, that's what you do. But if you're on your grown man like I am, I don't need swag because I'm on my grown man. I work very hard for the money I have, and I do invest back into myself. What you're going to hear on the album is you're going to hear some real stuff. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat anything for you. A lot of people remember in the past who do know my music, I talked a lot about relationships and the pitfalls of relationships and the downside. I promised myself on this album I would not do that. I have one song on there, it's called Heartbreak. I think it's a very phenomenal song. It's just, the insight to the mind of a drunk man who thinks about everything that's gone wrong in his past, and, he wants to make it better, but he's got to let it all out before anything can get any better. And I just, a lot of the songs on here, great tracks. I got JC Flow producing on the album. Shout out to Showdown. Shout out, Beat Boys. They were able to get me some tracks and everything. Fame Rilla's on the track called I Will, which I plan on doing a video for very, very soon. It's a great track. DJ Finnessy himself, the gentleman who owns Remedy Recording, is a phenomenal singer. He's on the album, as well as my label mates Mike Drastic and John Salt were on the album as well. Resurgence is just basically a rebirth of an individual, and my brother Savon actually named the album because there's just been a resurgence, in my life and in his life and in the lives of all my brothers, and we figure, what better way to talk about it? I mean, we could talk about evolution all we want, and, it was going to be called The Evolution, but, it's way past evolution at this point. It's a resurgence. I'm here. I'm still here. I'm not going nowhere. You're going to hear, real hip-hop. It's not the money shit. It's not the big cars, big rims, It's not none of that balling out of control shit. It's just real, humble hip-hop.
And that is the look right there. Let's talk about some of the people that you have worked with. You said you have JC on the album. You have Fame Rilla. We know that you've worked with Q-Dot. Who are some of the other people that you've worked with in this past year, and maybe some of the things that you've learned from them?
I would honestly say I've learned so much from JC Flow, and a lot of people don't understand that. To me, JC Flow is the most talented individual in Seattle. He's really not even a triple threat. He's a quadruple threat. He can do a lot of things. He's a very, very smart individual, and he has taught me how to do things and how to assert myself and how to do some marketing, and he's, helped me out with my production. I've worked with a lot of people. As you said before, last summer I put out 12 mixtapes in the whole summer, and I put so many people on them, and me and Q-Dot, we did a fancy remix of Drake and Swiss Beats track. We did that remix, and, out of everybody I worked with, I'd say I've had the most fun working with Q-Dot. I've had the most fun working with JC. Fame Rilla was fun to work with in the studio. Mike Drastic and John Salt, my label mates, they're just great individuals, and for them to, agree to be a part of my project, it just means a lot to me. And, there's a lot of people I'd love to work with. I'd like to work with Saul. I think that'd be a good look. I like his style. I really want to work with the Physics, Mario Sweet. Just phenomenal individuals, and I just, feel like in the next year it's going to happen.
Yes, sir. We're looking forward to all this. But an interesting question that I always like to ask is about the motivations that we have in our careers, and I can see a real family motivation from you. But are there other things like fame, fortune, philanthropy, or maybe is it all really just the love to do it?
Well, I'd be a liar if I said that the money didn't matter, because at the end of the day, the money is what's going to make everything happen that I want to happen. And I am about my family. I'm about my family. I want to make sure that nobody in my family is without. I want to make sure that everybody in my family is taken care of. And if this is the way for me to make it happen, then it's going to happen that way. I love hip-hop to the core. And I love hip-hop so much that this is how I feel that I can do that. And some people say things happen later on in life that great things happen, and I think that this is going to happen. So in the long run, I love to do shows. I don't do drugs or nothing, but I'll tell you what, the minute I get on stage and touch a mic, to me that's my biggest drug, and I love that so much. I love doing shows. I'd love to go on tour. I'd love to be able to see different places and just rock the stage for thousands of people. I think it'd be amazing. And to see so many people do it, and I've seen it so much in my lifetime. I've been to so many different shows, it's ridiculous. If you knew the actual number of shows, you might ask me how I had time to sleep. But that happened all when I was younger, and it made me appreciate everything I'm doing right now. And I like to donate my time. SadiesBite.com has been a huge portion of my time that I've contributed because I believe in it. My birth mother passed of cancer in 1983 when I was a year and a half old, and I don't think anybody should have to go through their child suffering like my grandparents did. My mom was 22 years old when she passed, and I've never found a cause that I've really felt more about and been more into and been wanted to be a part of more than helping terminally ill children or children who have cancer or any disease for that matter, and trying to help get them better. So I guess you could say humanitarianism, philanthropy, all that. I wouldn't mind building up an art collection. I like art. I want to have a gallery someday. My uncle does great art. It's really out there, but it's great art. I just want to be able to do these things. And number one, I want to take care of my son and make sure he's taken care of. And I want to take care of my mom that raised me, and my whole family, my brothers, and just make sure that everybody's living the life that we should be living versus struggling every day, scraping our knuckles against the wall just to survive.
Yeah, definitely. What is next for you?
Next for me, I'm going to push this album heavy for about the next year. I could be crazy enough to do a project in the spring. Could be crazy enough. I am crazy enough to do it. John Salt and myself are working on something right now. It's going to be just a dual project that we're going to put out together. I'm not going to put out any more mixtapes. I'm pretty good off that right now. I think I proved my point last summer with doing it that I could put out 12 mixtapes in the summer, and you know what? Just to say I did it, and I did it. It was a lot of hard work. But as far as what's up next, I think I just want to put this album out. I want to see what happens and kind of go from there. I'm kind of at the point now where it's, hey, your album's done. And I can honestly say I've not written anything since the album got finished, and it kind of feels great to sit back and not write anything and just listen to music, because I don't listen to mainstream music. I listen to a lot of local music. I listen to a lot of underground music. I don't listen to what Cube 93 plays. I don't listen to what the radio plays at all, because everybody's getting that Karen Klein money, and I can't go down with that. I can't be affiliated with places and people and businesses who get paid to play things. I can't do that. That's how Elvis got famous, was through payola. If they didn't pay people to play Elvis's records, he wouldn't have been as popular as he was. And I believe that 110%, because if you look at it, Little Richard was out at the same time, did not have the same success as Elvis, but made the same music. So, it comes down to, as far as what's next, I'm going to sit back, I'm going to enjoy this ride, I'm going to do some shows, and just try to get everything done and get my mind right, spend some time with my son and my family, and kind of give back that.
But tell the people how they can find you on the net and elsewhere, so they can find out these moves that you got coming up here and they can keep up.
Well, you can find me on Facebook, facebook.com/A.K.A. Music Online. You can even go to itchymetal.com under Itchy Urban and find me there. That's the label website. At Twitter, you can follow me at the only A.K.A. or Reverb Nation /Gorilla Supreme. Hit me on my email, bookingaka@gmail.com if you wanted to book me for anything. I'm just really trying to get out there for people who love hip hop. And if you want to find me. If you find me on Facebook, find me anywhere. If you want to find me, it's out there. Just look me up on Facebook, Reverb Nation. If you look at YouTube, Gorilla Supreme 81, is the username. So if you need to find me, that's where you can find me.
A.K.A., really appreciate your time today, and good luck with this. your album release party, and your album.
Thank you very much, D-Money. I appreciate you having me.